this is the Fred 2, Fred in the Shed 2 part of the video. I've just done the Fred in the Shed 1 part, which I ask about these 259 plugs on this RG213. Thinking about improving the plugs, and I just want to ask people's opinion, but that's another video. Yeah, the shed. So, right, if you've seen the previous video, yeah, just ignore the nails coming through the. Don't worry about that. Yeah, we've solved the leak in the shed, and I'm pleased to say that everything is drying out. But it has got a little bit damp in here, and I have had a bit of a problem with condensation. This shelving unit, that's not mould by the way, but this shelving unit has blown. It's absorbed a lot of water, and it's completely blown. Let me just secure the door. So I've decided that I've had so much fun in this summer with new people coming onto radio and coming out here, and also we've had Skip coming in. I went across to Bosnia, south of Italy, France, no America unfortunately, but I've had so much fun in the shed that I've decided I'm going to try and extend my use of radios in the shed. Now of course what happens, the shed normally doesn't leak, but it gets pretty cold out here. And what I found is that if I run a fan heater so I can stay out here longer, that's all very well, but if I leave it on too long, what happens, I start getting condensation on the inside of the wood and everything. It all starts because it's so cold outside, and there's no insulation in the shed. Now the shed it's not a radio shack, it's a storage shed, and I know I've got radios out here, and I can't insulate the whole shed. And this wouldn't work and stay out here, and you know, it's just not that. It's just a garden shed. So what I'm thinking of doing is perhaps putting some insulation up just around this sort of area where the radios are, and at least then if I do have to run a little bit of heat, there won't be any condensation form in that area. And also tidy up this shelving unit's knackered, it's completely blown, so I need to sort of come up with a better shelving unit and just make it a little bit better. I just think it's worth investing the time into the shed shack, because like I say, it was just something that I did. I just had a radio out here, and I would sort of shoot in and out when I was cutting the grass or something, or you know, mucking about with a fish pond, and just flick round. But it's become so much more than that. All these loads of new people coming on. I've had some great contacts just on the 6900, and yeah, so I'm going to improve it. So yeah, I'll video it as I go along and put it on Fred in the Shed 2. It's not really good enough for Fred in the Shed 1, but you guys sort of you guys kind of stick with me on Fred in the Shed 2. You're more like my mates, and you sort of appreciate the fact that I can't do top quality videos all the time. So it's just to be a little chatty video. So that's just the introduction bit. Got the radio, got the little Truman Hill set up, ready to sort of go. But that's all going to have to be pulled out now. All that's going to have to sort of come off. So I'll do a little bit as I go along, just for you guys. So look out for that in a minute, and cheers. Thanks for watching this bit. Update. A little more progress in the shed shack. Had a really good tidy up, which always is quite refreshing. And yeah, you can see around, we've just got some of this foil insulation. I had this left over when I did the loft area and the loft shack, and floor to ceiling, just put it round. I know it's not perfect. I'm not trying to make something that's, you know, habitable all year round. It's just that if I do run a little bit of heating here, and I do intend to get a low voltage pipe heater, like a greenhouse heater. Well, you know, in fact, I've got it. It's sitting there, so I'm going to fit that, and it's just to hold some of the heating, just to try and stop it getting too damp. So I'm thinking that I'm going to board this area in slightly. Going to go and get some plywood now before we go into lockdown, because tomorrow we're going into lockdown. I'm not sure which shops are open, so I'm going to shoot off to the DIY place. Yeah, I'm thinking about putting in just some plywood, just to make this area just that little bit nicer, and then just in case that I do end up getting any condensation on this plastic, if I've got another layer of plywood, that should stop it. I've left on this side, I've left a real kind of gap between the wood and the insulation, so hopefully if there is any condensation it won't come through. And yeah, just to make it a little bit more usable, really. I think it was well overdue. It's not the best job in the world, but this is Fred in the Shed, literally Fred in the Shed. So I'll do another little video update in a while when I've done a little bit more work. But I think for now it's it's getting there, isn't it? I used it for the 39 year. You probably saw that at the Murphy in here. That was a great night. That was a great radio night. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Wish it was like that all the time. It was reminding me of the old days when it was like that all the time. You know, you couldn't get a word in edgeways half the time. But anyway, yeah, okay, so I'll do a bit more video when I've done a little bit more. Thank you for watching this part. Got some plyboard. we shot down the DIY centre and just bought a couple of sheets of ply before the lockdown started, which was the next day. So yeah, there you go. So I got that couple of sheets of ply there just to be, you know, create a barrier so that there's no moisture coming through. And that's the first thing I've had to buy on this project so far. All of this silver Mylar bubble wrap, which people still say blocks out RF signals. I don't mind if it blocks out RF signals in the shack, because that might help with my PLT noise, but I know it doesn't block out signals because I did an ohms and a continuity test, and it's just very, very thin Mylar sprayed on aluminium, or aluminum for my American viewers. How you doing, guys? What the hell's going on with your election at the moment? Oh, that's crazy. Anyway, enough of that. Yeah, so we got the little bit of plyboard up, and I think that's good. I might dress it up a little bit actually, because somewhere around, yeah, I've still got all of the wood dye that I used on the main shack and all of the varnish there. So yeah, do you know what? I might just dress it up a little bit. Why not? Why not do that? Also got an old shelf that was salvaged from upstairs, and I'm going to put a little shelf in to give me a nice little working area for the radios. And I have bought some stuff. I ordered some sort of black matting, some rubber matting, because my bench is getting a little bit damaged in places, so I'm going to fit the bench out with some matting. I think I just might make it look a little bit nice as I do the videos in here, and it'll just be quite nice. Get some lighting in, and be a bit careful with the lighting. Don't want anything that's got a transformer. You can buy very cheap LED strip lighting, but they come generally with a plug-in transformer. We know they buzz, we know that creates RF, so yeah, if I get any lighting, it's going to have to not have a transformer built in. But anyway, I just thought I'd update it. I'm going to carry on, do a little bit more. So we're in lockdown now. I still go to work, but it means just some of the stores are shut, and the ones that are open, they've got like a queuing system where you have to pre-order and queue, and that is a pain in the neck. So I don't really want to buy anything else from the stores. It's all going to be sort of mail order now. But as I say, so far, really, only two things I've had to buy is those two sheets of ply. They were £11 each from Wix. So it's been cheap as chips so far. Hey, that's what we like on Fred in the Shed. Anyway, I'm going to get on because it's a bit chilly today, and I'll update you in a minute. Well, it's actually stopped raining. Oh, look at that yellow thing in the sky. Sunshine. We haven't seen sunshine for ages. I've been busy here in the shack. I haven't done a video all week, but I have been popping out here doing a bit, and you can sort of see hopefully some progress. This switch box, yeah, I don't like this switch box. Bought this on eBay because I needed a 3-way switch box. It works, and it doesn't actually affect my SWR, and seems to click over and everything, but I just don't like it. I don't need 3 outlets anymore. I did have one that was running into the living room when Kenny was a young puppy, and if you left him alone he would chew stuff. So I had a little feed running to a radio so I could keep an eye on him. But I don't need that now. So I'm going to go back to, I've got a more basic one of those cast kind of like V-shaped switches that it's just a more basic, more mechanical. Going to be swapping that out. But I have improved the coaxial coming out of the switch box. We've got the 213 now going up. Oh, and here we go. We're going to go right across the roof, so that's all going right down, and that disappears in behind my sort of new wood panel, and that's the wood panel that I've finished. This is that cheap plywood I got from Wix. This has now been stained and varnished. You probably would have seen that on the last one. I think I would have preferred to have used a bit thicker plywood. It wasn't available, but it has slightly delaminated in places when I was sort of drilling it. Not much you can do about that. To some wiring. I've just been wiring in these 2 power supply units. Now, these people have got mixed feelings about these. They're not always that popular. They're not designed to be used for radio. They are a cheaper option. These are designed to be used for LED lighting, mostly in force ceilings and offices, things like that. They're switch mode power supplies. They're very cheap, but I've been using these for a few years now. I've not had an issue with these. I've run HF radios from these as well. As I say, they're cheap. They're generally about £16-17 each. These are both 33 amps, so they will run a HF radio. I kind of don't use them for my HF sets. I use proper power supply units. If the argument is if these go terminal, if they short inside, then they'll take out your radio. They're not wired in series. Someone asked that, so I'm not running them as a 66 amp supply. They're separate. One is used for the linear and one is used for the radio, and so just doing a bit of wiring on that. And then the next thing will be to get some lighting in here, and this is where we leave it for now on this part 1 of this shack restoration. It's getting there, isn't it? It's getting there. Still got a few things to tidy up, a few radios to get in here, of course. But I think I'm going to change these lights. I've got LED light bulbs in there. I don't know how RF friendly they're going to be, so I think I might change it all when I come round to getting the radios in. But for now, I think it's looking pretty good. I think it's looking quite neat and tidy. So look out for another update on Fred in the Shed 2 when it's all finished. I'll keep you updated. But as for now, cheers, thanks for watching this. I really appreciate you on this channel, such a small channel. Take care. It's really dodgy out there, isn't it, at the moment? So please, please, please take care. And I'll catch you all for the next one for an update. Take care, guys.